Hello, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Louise and this is Louise's Lifestyle. Thank you for joining me. So I'm doing an update on all my guavas. So I have a mini collection, if you like, starting with the purple and red Malaysian guava. So the previous videos I've explained I've got seeds from Spain, purple guava, and seeds from Sri Lanka, red Malaysian, supposedly. Fortunately, this has happened to the Sri Lankan guava. I took my eye off for a day or so and the soil dried out, and this is the result. So RIP to that one. That's the purple guava in the same tray, and that did droop badly, but it has recovered. So that one's lucky, you know, because I don't have many of the purple guava at all. And these are two of the Sri Lankan guava. Now they look very pale on the stem, and I'm seriously doubting whether these are red Malaysian guava at all. Possibly just a simple white guava or pink guava, if that. There's no sort of, there's a slight pinkish, which is slight pink coloration to the stem, which I do remember when, gosh, about 7 years ago when I grew white guava, and they did have the slight pinkish coloration to the stem, which you know, was common. So, you know, it's possibly not even a pink guava, and just plain white. So just chalk that up to bad experience. Sellers that from abroad, if you don't have much connection with them, you don't know them, you just have to trust that they're selling you what you hope is, you know, a particular fruit or particular flower, and it turns out to be something else. So red Malaysian, doubtful, possibly white guava. Now these are the purple guava from Spain. I've recently repotted this one and that one, and so I've got 4 in total. I've got another downstairs, and I'll be nipping downstairs to show you what's happened to that one. So these growing very slow. They're not the fastest. Maybe I'm a bit impatient, but you know, they're pretty slow growing. I repotted them thinking that might help, you know, accelerate the growth, because this is a time that they should be growing. You know, it's August, but as you can see, the weather out there is terrible. Not that it affects these plants, but there is a lack of sunshine, and I'm not using grow lights on these. You know, they're just relying on the light from the window. And it's pretty grey and miserable, and we've had quite a lot of that recently. So nice coloration on the stem, sort of a deep purpley colour, and the underside of the leaves, you can see that's just compost underside there, but nice deep veins, deep coloration on the veins as well. This lower leaf has a much I don't know if I can get in there. Got a nice blush to it. Bit hard to get that on camera, but it's got a nice purple blush to it. Yeah, so these are growing quite slow, and I'm going to compare the one that I've got in the grow tent. So I've got a purple and a Sri Lankan in the same pot in the grow tent. So I'm just going to nip down there and show you what they look like. Right, so here we are downstairs in the grow tent, where I've got the purple guava from Spain, and I've also got Sri Lankan guava in the same pot, and these are the stems that I got from Bangladesh a few weeks ago. In fact, just over 6 weeks, I think 7 weeks ago. And fortunately, I don't think these are from the tree, the rooftop garden in Bangladesh. There was a big a red Malaysian guava tree, and these stem cuttings were taken from there, but for sadly it doesn't look like these are viable at all. You know, they look pretty brown and dried out. So they have been in water and perlite for quite some time now, and no signs of growth. So I think that I'll have to chalk that down to a failure. And the purple guava that I brought down here to see how it would grow in differently, you know, in different conditions, I should say. And notice there's less puckering on the leaves, much smoother appearance. The colour on the stem has remained, but if you look at this one here, this is the Sri Lankan guava, has completely sort of turned green. No hint of pink on there at all. So it makes me wonder if that is in fact a red guava, red Malaysian guava at all. Possibly a white guava, or maybe a pink, but definitely not red Malaysian. So this one, although it's kept the colour on the stem, the underside of the leaves, there is still a hint of pink on there, but I think the shading, they're getting shaded in the grow tent, because the leaves of the jackfruit here getting pretty big, sort of taking over. And recently now I've got the Fosli mango in here, and it too, the leaves are pretty big, so these are sort of shading out the smaller plants. I've got some more mangoes in here. I've had to take one out because that too was getting a bit too big. So over here is another guava. These are from the previous year. Was it last year or the year before that I planted the seed? These are the pink guava seedlings, and this one was in my greenhouse. I had a large tub and I'd put several young seedlings in there, and then they started to die off, they dropped the leaves, etc. And this one started to come back, so I thought I'll bring it in because there are lots of slugs and snails in there. I thought I'd have a better chance of growing. I thought keep this one in the grow tent as an experiment, and I've got one in the living room, the same batch of seedlings. I think down there, oh, that's my beetle leaf. I'm just doing another cutting, and yeah, so nip to the front living room and see the guava plant there. Right, so this is the last guava out of the collection. There is another one in the greenhouse. I'll probably put a picture up of that in somewhere in here, because I'm not going out. It's pretty dismal. It's been raining on and off, but this one is the biggest out of the collection. These are another pink guava, and it did develop this fork early on in its growth, and I hadn't encouraged that. It just happened, and this side of the guava seems to have grown nicely. I've recently pinched out the growing tip there, and it's developed these two branches, and as that grows a little bit higher, I will continuously pinch out the growth so we get a nice bushy plant. And yeah, so it's continuing to put out nice side shoots, and at the base as well it's put out some nice new shoots. However, this side isn't doing so well. I don't know why. Maybe there's some sort of interruption in the flow somewhere. There's done damage, because each time it puts out a new leaf, they turn grey, like they're struggling, you know, to grow properly. So the leaves aren't very big on this side, and they're constantly dropping. There's a bit of leaf scorch on there, but that's no different from, you know, the leaf scorch on this side. So I don't think that's the issue. I think there's something that's interrupting the flow. So maybe I should just cut that off there and let the rest of the plant do its thing. So that's the biggest of the pink guava. So let me know in the comment box below what you think of my little guava collection. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.